So this is session 2 of 2 for the venerable institution that is known as Pigsmoke. It is America's 3rd largest school of magic and one of the premier institutions, if not the premier institution of magic within the US, according to Forbes. But anyway, we're going to start out with our session here. We have our scholars. They are heavily invested in the learning of future magi, and they are also involved in some politics. So we're going to take up with them in the midst of their scenes. So if I could have them briefly give their CV, as it were, we'll do that. So Sven Fatal, tell us about yourself.
I'm Sven. I'm very passionate about everything I do, especially magic. I'm an elementalist and a networker, so it's all about the people. I love Pigsmoke because this is the place where I can do everything I like doing. I can research, I can blow things up, I can do it all, and there are many fun people here.
Excellent. And then Zvi?
Yes, I'm Zvi Ben Zvi of the Artifacts and Relics department. And I've been with the Pigsmoke for a very long time. And I love esoteric articles, artifacts, and the relics, and making things go boom.
Excellent. A venerable, long-lived scholar of the well and sometimes regarded artifacts department. And finally, Dr. Carol Olepeist?
Olepeist will do.
Olepeist, okay.
I'm Carol Olepeist. I am part of the Department of Foresight, specializing in risk management and actuarial science. So I do a lot of the technical, nerdy stuff on the side. I'm currently embroiled in this complicated relationship with Elocutus, where I do a lot of his grunt work, and I don't even get footnotes, but he keeps promising me co-authorship and all of this stuff. But I'm feeling good because I do have this new blossoming relationship with Dr. Sven Fatal on the crossover between elementalism and foresight. I think it's really exciting. It's a new branch of science to me, and also, like, I kind of have a little bit of a crush on the guy, so it makes, so, you know, that's, I think, the secret reason why I'm doing it.
Perfect. So last time, Dr. Carroll spoke with his dean, and the dean was very much, she's a hands-on micromanager, talked with Dr. Carroll about the project she was working on and pushed her to get pushed him to get the outline done for this project with Dr. Sven. And so he headed out to do that. Meanwhile, Zvi was rescued from a drowning in the quicksand of his office, but was told that he needed to go and catalog this very important item and get it down to the vault, this weather vane, and the weather vane of Abdul-Azad. And so he was sent to go do that. At about the same time, Sven spoke with his dean. There was a conversation, words were exchanged. Eventually, Sven had to go and speak with the department secretary to get a translation, and found out that, in fact, he needed to go and obtain this weather vane of Abdul-Azad and get it back to the Department of Elements. Dr. Carroll ran into Dr. Elocutus on the quad. And Dr. Elocutus, who himself had been assigned certain new researches by the boss, Dean Regoletto, to get the crime statistics for the campus done. And so there was an exchange on that, a push back and forth. But we cut then to Zvi Ben Zvi, who went to locate said object, and discovered that, in fact, it was missing, that someone had already made their way in and had taken the weather vane. We cut to Sven and Dr. Carroll running into each other, some discussion on that score, and eventually heading over to the Department of Artifacts to look into matters there. Ran into Drs. Viv and Svi. They consulted back and forth about the weather vane. There was some researching that was sent, some TAs that were sent in various directions that got minimal information. But most importantly, they locked Dr. Carroll in the box that the weather vane had been in, and he had a remarkable vision of doom and gloom of the future based on the usage of this weather vane. I believe it was at that point that Dr. Elocucius arrived and gave you the name of a possible lead, Dr. Vittorio Husla. And Dr. Husla works at the Department of Summonings. Did I miss any crucial bits of information? I left off some details like the bachelor crows and that kind of stuff, but all of that is in there. The toupee, those are all things that are in the background. So did I miss anything vital? So we take up with the three of you. It's still a beautiful fall day. It's a little warm. Students are out on the quad. The freshmen are trying to find their way around badly. And a lot of them still look bright-faced. They have all the new backpacks they've bought. Their parents have provided for them, that kind of thing. Some of them are trying out their new hipster vibe and so on. Let me ask you, Dr. Carroll, what color is your mood tie at this point?
Ooh, it is I guess like a navy color, like yeah, kind of like it's quite a fearful dark color. I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on my 90s mood ring palette.
Okay. But what does that represent?
And I guess that represents fear. He's a bit fearful right now.
Okay.
And while it's like a warm sunny day, he can still feel like the rain on his face, and like he feels quite cold in comparison to the rest of the outside card atmosphere, which may also explain his mood tie, because mood ties for like mood rings were like heat based, right?
Yes, they were. So you got that dark, gloomy tie and that sort of hanging over you. So Dr. Svi, this was an object that was assigned to you to find. You've heard this name. These other two, you assume they're going to assist you. That's just the way these things work. So what is your next step?
Yes, perhaps we go to see who Dr.
Husla.
Dr. Husla.
Husla. Vittorio.
Yes. Maybe we go by and pay him a visit. Vittorio Husla.
Okay. So you will head to the summonings building. Chris, we've described some of the other buildings here. What do you suppose the Department of Summonings, what does that building look like?
It's covered in glyphs, protective wards and whatnot. They have special areas where they do the summoning, but not everywhere. So they put up a lot of other protective wards around it. So some of them are sort of a silvery light. It sort of shimmers. The words might move a little bit to make it harder for people to dispel them.
Okay.
So, but otherwise it's pretty. I pictured it as sort of a pretty nondescript building, except for that.
Okay. Maybe a little bit at night. They probably have some of those like laser light show glyphs that go on and stuff. Through water to do the images there. But it is very much. It looks like a hard science building because they've got labs and containment centers and all of that kind of stuff. And so I'm going to check and see what Rich has said here. He has said, unfortunately, Rich has to drop because his son has a major assignment. Very sad. I'll do my Trump. Very sad. All right, there we go. So we'll continue on. Very much a serious science building there. What's your approach? How do you three want to handle things?
I think, I don't know about the rest of you. I think we should, why don't we eavesdrop before we go in? And
I
see
like
what's
this
up?
idea.
Because I think I can probably use the wind to bring the whispers of anybody talking about the weather vane.
Ooh, interesting. So this sounds like you're trying to are you trying to like get a lot of information, or do you just want some little basic stuff? What do you want?
Sven wants to know who has this. So anybody talking about it is probably the person that has it.
Okay. I'm actually going to have you roll sorcery then.
Okay, cast a spell?
Yes, cast a spell. Sorry, it's rolling with sorcery on cast a spell. Also,
Okay.
here is...
I was going to ask where the room was if you had one set up.
Here's the room.
Yay, awfully complete marmot. I like that.
Yes.
Oh, it's the one from last time. Okay, cool.
Yes.
So, reroll selected. Oh, wow. That's the way to start the game. So, let's see. That can't be anything good. I rolled an actual 4 and my sorcery 0, so it is a 4. So I got the first miss of the evening. Yeah.
So you will go to do that, to use your magic to reach into the building, and most of the buildings have some protection, but they're usual workarounds and things like that. Yeah, there's a firewall here. So literally a wall of fire goes up in front of you, in front of your thing, and kind of stops that spell that goes off, and people go, various forms and papers people are carrying explode in flames, and people scatter to the four winds.
And Sven's eyebrows get singed, right?
Yes, absolutely. So you're like, and clearly that's maybe you've raised a little attention here.
Ooh. They've really advanced this. They're taking it a level up. This is fantastic.
That's next level work.
Uh-huh.
So, Dr. Carroll, let me turn to you. What now that we've seen Dr. Sven attempt and fail to gather information for you, what's the next step?
Ooh. And the goal is to get in this place and not forget about the wither vein, right?
I think so. Or another strategy.
Yeah. So I was gonna.
It's kind of not your mess though.
Yeah, it isn't. But I feel like I have multiple vested interests in figuring this out.
Everybody does.
Come on, Carol. Carol, this will be fun. It will be exciting.
Well, now I'm sold. I'm very easy selling that capacity.
You're very strange.
Especially being a American accent. It goes. I would kind of like to take. Sorry, I'm missing my character sheets. Would this be a good time to test out the let's be rational move?
Well, you'd have to figure out who you'd be talking to and what you're trying to convince them of first.
So I kind of feel like Carol would like to sort of be like, this is ridiculous. Like, we're being silly about this. We just need to present them with a rational argument. We'll take the box to them and be like, look, we need the wither vein. Bad things are going to happen. Let's be rational here. Like, let's stop messing around.
So who would you present that argument to? Do you just want to go in the building and look for someone to hit up, or what?
Yeah, I guess let's go straight to the top with this.
Okay. Are you carrying the box with you?
Very awkwardly.
Okay.
I could fit inside of it. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's very large.
This is not elegant, like storming in.
So you'll go in. There's that sort of main hall of the building. You can see that they've got various chemical washdown stations, and then there's some pentacle decontamination stations, and there's some crosses and things like that, under glass by the rubber gloves and face masks and things like that. So very hard science building here. They've got the various, level 1 is Fae, level 2 is demonology, level 3 is outer entities, that kind of thing. The sub-basement works with just mythical creatures in general. Who would you go to talk to? Do you want to find a department office or a janitor, or you want to go to the dean's office, or what?
Let's go to the dean.
Okay. So let me ask you this, Dylan. Tell me one thing about the dean of the summoning school.
Always drunk.
Perfect. So you will go up these big, beautiful marble stairs up to the second floor. Big statues of past summoners and things like that. Everybody with their wands held at ready. The Hall of Fame. They've got the wall. Actually, they're probably the 4 walls of the lost. These are all the summoners that have fallen in the line of duty, that kind of thing. And you will go into the dean's office, and you 3 are 3 prestigious scholars. So I will say you can easily make your way past the department secretary, and you can get in to see the dean. And let's give the dean a name. The dean's name is Nookrice. Dean Nookrice. And so you come in and you'll hear the clinking of ice. Got the tumbler there filled with amber liquid. Oh, good morning. So then meringue.
Good day to you too.
Yes, and this we're gonna one little things that she points over to the sifters.
I think Sven will say, "It's 5 o'clock somewhere, darling," and go and grab a glass and pour himself a drink. Anybody else?
Yes, they have a little thing to say, to be very good with the things, the drinking and all of that. Sunshine. So,
Dean, we're very sorry to bother you, but have you perhaps seen Weathervane?
I think, where is that, guys? With the thing, the spinny?
Yes.
No, that's nice as such.
How about, have you seen a Professor who help me out here?
Husla. He kind of says that, and you see him make this warding sign.
Are you okay?
Dark arts,
Is Usta in the building now?
See, with the secretary with the keys and this, yes.
Well, we don't want to take up too much more of your time.
Dr. Carroll, do you want to try your rationality on Dean Nookrice?
Sure.
So just tell me, yes. Go on.
Look, you need to sober up here because we've got a big problem on our hands. As you can see by this box, we're missing a particular item, which is this weather vane that I'm pretty sure one of our good fellows here filled out a purchase order for legitimately, went through all the proper bureaucratic processes, and we need to figure out where this is. So if you have any information on where we can find this or who we can talk to, we would greatly appreciate it.
Let's have you roll bureaucracy.
Let me open up the room. I've got 2 ominous ones here.
There you go.
Well selected. I believe that's a 9.
A 9. Yeah. So, yeah, this thing is so and he leans over. This is a sec. This is a weed. This is a sec. And you will hear a poof. And you will see this red cap, little short, sort of big, mouth filled with teeth, little thing appear in the corner. Kind of looks angry. It's like the angriest gnome you've ever seen. It will look at the dean, and the dean speaks drunkenly in another language. And the gnome goes, okay. So I'm supposed to take you to Husla, right?
Yes, that would be very much appreciated.
Okay, I'm here to be your guide and protection in case anything gets loose or if he gets angry at you. Okay?
Oh, perfect.
Okay. Follow me.
Look at him, he's so cute.
That's not cute. Don't. And he'll chuggle along. He is cute. He kind of bobs like this when he walks and can't help it. The big mouthful of teeth works against him, but generally he's pretty adorable. And he will take you to the second, take you to the second floor, walks you down these hallways. They are non-Euclidean, so the halls go longer than you expect them to. They bend around, weird spatial things here, and eventually you get down to what is very clearly like, in your buildings, this would be the wing for the person who is the big money maker, is the sort of rock star professor for the department here. Everything is very nice. There's like a bowl of mints by his secretary's desk, and they're actually fresh. The place is shiny, high-end, beautiful marble and things here. And his secretary is not there. But the gnome will take you in to a lab where you will see a little tiny thin man, nearly bald, but the hair's kind of pushed back. He's got little tiny glasses there. He's got this pentagram on the floor. He's got all kinds of electronic gizmos hooked up to that. He's got various TAs there. There's computers, there's printouts, runnings, and things like that. He's there, and you can see that he's got the weather vane there in the middle of this pentagram. And of course, you recognize him immediately, Dr. Carroll, because you've seen him before. And he goes, "Yes. What is it? One of you talk."
Doctor, that's an awfully familiar weather vane you have there.
Yeah.
Is the weather vane is the weather vane like situated in the pentagram and involved in something?
Yeah, it looks like they're running some kind of procedure on it, and he's got the weather vane, stuck, standing up in the middle of the thing, kind of spinning lazily. It's all this wires and stuff running to it. Yes, but it's a very important, very delicate time in my work.
I believe that what the vein needed to be cataloged into relics and artifacts first.
Yes, I heard you needed to fill out. What's the form you needed to fill out? $3.99.
And the R267.
Oh, that's it. In triplicate. Blood.
His eyebrow arches. We're in the middle of work here.
Know what Professor, you know what happens when you don't fill out that form properly. You are in the summoning faculty. Go wrong.
So describe to me, it sounds to me like you're trying to play good cop here.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm starting off to do.
Okay. So you can kind of lean in. Are one of you two, Dr. Carroll or Dr. Zvi, are you assisting in some way?
Yeah,
No, they're not.
Yeah, they're just putting me out to dry. Yeah, you don't have to, because the other thing I can do is if I chat him up on gossip, I can use one of my moves on him. So I can do tell me everything and we'll find out what he's really up to. But that wasn't where I was going, actually, but there is an option there. I was actually just trying to work in that a little bit to get him to start thinking. And then what I was planning on doing was ducking behind one of the others and using elemental magic to start making the weather vane spin wildly, which I think would probably disrupt what he's doing.
Interesting. So you just want to chat him up and get him to kind of lower his guard. Why don't you roll charisma? This sounds like you're kind of schmoozing to get him a little off balance.
Well, since I have a charisma of +2, that's actually an 8, so that worked.
Okay. So he's not fully engaged. He's still irritated because he has things to do, and he's a little mean little man. So he has his attention for a little bit. What about you, Dr. Carroll? What do you want to do?
I guess I'm just waiting in the wings, like just in case I need to bring out the bureaucratic, like, look, we've budgeted for this stuff. This is on the books. Like, you're effectively stealing from the other department. Kind of like, yeah. I won't go full bureaucratic on him yet.
Fair enough. And Dr. Zvi?
I think can Dr. Zvi maybe figure out potentially what he's, just based on his experience of watching other people test artifacts, what he may be doing?
Oh, that's interesting. Let's have you roll research.
Okay. And that is a 5 plus 6, 7.
So that's it, just barely. So off to delve deeper, is there a question there that you want to ask?
Delve deeper. I'm going to make this bigger so I can read it.
And we can modify that a little since we're kind of doing on the fly information.
How about maybe what here is not as it appears to be?
Let me see here. I would say that this is a goofy thing to be using for the kind of summoning. Yes, to get XP misses. For this kind of summoning thing, it seems odd that he's working with this object. And he doesn't, you have the sense that maybe he doesn't know exactly what the deal is here. But that maybe someone has told him that it's an awesome thing to have. Like maybe he's been sold a bill of goods of some kind. Does that sound reasonable?
That sounds reasonable.
Let me come back to you, Dr. Sven.
Dr. Sven, I do not think he knows what he's doing. I don't think he knows what this is.
Dr. Husla, think you're going to get out of this?
I am pursuing an analysis of this very object. It's very important to all those things, and we are going to work through this. We're doing a master spectrometry with the, and then with the that, and we're doing a base natural philosophy and examinations of things. It's actually summoning properties and distancing of it. Collapse the waveform.
You have the wrong weather vane.
We will probably reverse the polarity as well.
You have the wrong weather vane.
What?
That is the wrong weather vane for that. You want the weather vane like on top of the pole hole. Not this one. This is a special artifact of weather vane. If you do what you do, you could go boom.
You think you're playing hardball or softball here, Zvi? Putting your pressure on him.
I don't know. I think it's more softball, like trying to.
Okay, let's have you roll schmooze because you are kind of trying to help him, trying to play nice here.
Okay. Uh-oh, is that a charisma thing?
Yes.
Oh, this is going to go bad.
But if Dr. Sven is assisting you, I found out that he doesn't have to roll. He can, if he's declaring this assisting you, he can give you advantage.
That's how it works. Okay, yeah, I'll do that, because what I'll do is he's making this say that this is going to go wrong and something like that, and I'll make something big fall in the background to scare him.
Okay. So that is 7 minus 1 is a 6.
A 6. So he's like, no, I was specifically told this is the weather vane.
By who?
This is getting interesting now.
Who says that is your weather vane?
This is a matter of academic discussion. It's very much so. Yes, that's what I was told. Yes. Who? Dr. Albacore.
Albacore.
Yes.
Where
he told me it would help with my pet project.
Do we know this Albacore?
Albacore works in the veterinary, the paraveterinary department, and he's kind of an asshole.
Albacore's the asshole. I see.
Dr. Carroll, what are you doing?
That is a good question. I
have a thought.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
Because I was wondering, since, I mean, these spells that we can cast, as long as they're related to our college, you can do different things.
Yes.
So Dr. Carroll, whisper in ear, Dr. Carroll, can you project your vision into his mind?
That is a great idea, yes. Dear doctor, would you please come here a moment and give me your palm? I know this sounds a little bit intimate, but trust me.
Yes, if it will get you out of my office here very faster, I would be very much happier. Yes.
Excellent.
It's a bony
I
little
would
hand.
like to. These hands are far leathery compared to Dr. Span's delightfully moisturized soft ones. Okay. May I make a sorcery roll to see
Yes,
if
please.
I can project this into his brain? Perfect. This is going to go so well. I'm not very sorcerous. Oh, that's a 7, though.
It is a 7. All right. So you'll project that into his mind, and you'll see him go, oh, that's not what I want to have happen. No, I don't want to destroy the campus. I have tenure. No.
And think about the damage this will do to your research and your publications.
Yes, my pet projects. But you have to choose 2 off of the cast a spell. There are 2 drawbacks to here.
Excellent. So choose. Okay, I choose to. Let's go for the magic effects far more than I intended because that's always fun.
Okay. So everyone in here, all of his TAs, everyone on this floor will get this vision of Husla raising this weather vane up and destroying the campus. And everyone here is like, and it gets very quiet in here.
And I think Sven will do the golf clap. That will be fantastic. You will be remembered forever as the person that destroyed Pigsmoke.
No, that is not what I want. I have a conference later this week. And what's the second pick?
Ooh. Let's go for something that's wrong to get hurt.
Okay, so what happens that you take some damage? Does the weather vane fall on you?
Yeah, that's delightful. I was thinking it would be kind of like a psychic backlash thing, but I like to think everyone's panicking and then the weather vane just falls on Carol.
Just, and it's this horrible weather vane, and it's heavy. It's clearly made from like fallen star material. It falls on you. It's got this octopus-shaped thing up at the top and these horrible little mouths on it that point in the directions, and it'll fall on you. And you will mark yourself as hurt.
Dr. Carroll, be careful. You might break my weather vane before I've cataloged it.
Don't worry. I broke its fall.
Thank you so much.
You need to go. You're bleeding. You cannot bleed in here.
Dr. Husla, have you seen what you've done? Look at this. I told you need to fill out the proper form or bad things would happen. Look what happened to Dr. Carroll. Your fault.
He needs to go before he bleeds into the circle.
I'm trying to give him a piece of my mind.
Okay. Roll scathe. Roll your charisma.
So I can keep going if I didn't get to the point where you think I'm giving a piece of my mind.
Okay. No, that's
Dr.
perfect.
Husla, you're being completely irresponsible. You can't do this. What are you showing to your graduate students? This is not. You're going to ruin the reputation of the school. And think of poor Professor Carroll, one of the upcoming stars of Foresight. This is unconscionable. We're taking the weather vane with us.
Roll charisma.
Maybe it'll go better this time. Yeah, well, that's a 9 because I have +2 on charisma.
Okay. 7 and 9. Target has to choose one. But someone important witnesses or learns of your rudeness. They are not pleased. So that will come back, but he will go over and he'll pick up the weather vane, lift it up with straining little tiny German muscles, and he will haul it across the room, and goes to hand it to you, Svi.
Okay, could you just before I help you put it in the box in the crate? Let's lay it down gently in the crate with me.
Yeah. He'll help you reluctantly. Clearly wants to be rid of all three of you. No one has helped Dr. Carroll off the floor, by the way. So the students are still kind of milling around.
Sven will help Dr. Carroll up.
He'll slowly take the hand that's offered, and then
does the mood tie show something?
It totally does. It's like a little bit. It's like a pink.
Okay. And where was Dr. Carroll hit with this weather vane?
I kind of feel like it has to be his back probably caught. I'm thinking if it fell on him and he fell chest on the ground, then he's got a little bit of back pain right now.
Okay. Yeah, you got that tear across the back of your jacket.
Yeah. Oh, the tweed jacket, yes.
Oh, yes, it's torn. Husla will help Svi get this into the box, and then he gesturing for you to get out of his lab.
Okay, are you ready to go? Thank you.
Yeah. See you around.
Yeah, and Sven will say, don't worry, we'll get the door ourselves, and I'll use this magic to slam the door behind us.
You hear the of speakers and things falling in there. So this box is very, very heavy. It is large and unwieldy. There are 3 of you, and 2 of you want this.
I would get some help to carry it.
Okay. Like who do you get? What do you get? Do you summon something, or do
yes?
you...
Is there a? I imagine, like every other building in Pigsmoke, this one has a cockroach problem too.
Of course.
Of course. So I'm going to actually take this as an opportunity to utilize my foci, particularly my nose flute that controls insects.
Okay. What does that look like?
So it's a tiny little flute, and I pull it out, and I hold it up to his nose, and plays a little tune. It's very, very soft tune, and the cockroaches just come out and go underneath the box and pick it up, and they're actually carrying the box under my control.
And they will pick it up, and they will start moving along, and you will hear them, tiny little voices, yeah, move it along, run, they told us what to do. Eventually we will overthrow the masters. Oh, someday the revolution will come, and we will overthrow them. We will control the means of production. Yeah! And they start rolling the thing along there. You see some of them have little armbands, little flags, but they do will roll along here. They haven't yet decided to rise up against the bourgeoisie, but they're certainly on the path to that. Where do you want to take this box? Back to your artifacts place?
Yes, back to the main the artifacts intake area.
Okay. All right. So are you 2 down with that? Seems like he's just going to take this back with this little cockroach parade, and catalog it and put it in the vault.
And both of us need it because Sven needs it to take it back to his department because his dean wanted it, correct?
Yes. Wanted it
once
cataloged and put in the vault.
Once it's cataloged, you can fill out your proper formats.
But you, darling, you realize that will take a long time. Is there any way we can expedite this?
Why do you need it?
My dean has insisted that I get this and I check this out. It's very important. As I slip into a different
accent. How about let's go get it? I get it cataloged like my dean wants me to do, and then we can bring it to your dean with the paperwork.
Can we do it? Maybe I can give you a favor. Maybe I can do something for you, and you can do this for me.
That sounds like
you can fill out the paperwork. You can fill out the paperwork while we take it over to the dean. My dean.
Perhaps if you put my name on your next paper.
Ooh. If Dr. Carroll doesn't object, because it was Dr. Carroll's idea. This paper, she's leading it. She's the lead. Sorry, he's the lead.
Well, I'm sure we can add his name to it.
That's the beginning.
You want more?
You want me to not do the paperwork?
No, you can do the paperwork.
I
not want you
to do the paperwork.
No, I'm just saying we can expedite this. You know how to do the paperwork flawlessly. You know what the weather vane looks like, and this will be what and we can start doing our work to write our paper, do the research for our paper. Can I schmooze another PC?
Because the paper is the Alipest.
Oh, you can't schmooze another paper. Can't.
The cozy paper, the Benzvi Olipes Fatale paper. Benzvi Olipes Fatale. It rolls off the tongue, right? Yes, yes, yes.
This game has had the most difficult languages in it so far to date.
Absolutely.
I'm okay with that. Dr. Carroll?
I guess. Wouldn't be the first time someone's been erroneously put on the front of the paper.
Okay, very well. Let's go. I accompany though, because the paperwork is all in order. Let's go. See your dean.
Wonderful.
And you will haul this box over to your dean, back over to the elemental building again. That building is kind of built on wildly, parts on top of one another, and that's what I recall of it. You will probably see Dr. Johnston, the Earth professor who does not care for you, wandering about, muttering. He sees you come in with two outside professors and kind of tags along just to see what's happening. And you'll go take the thing to the dean's office. Tom Farrell's there, the dean's assistant. Oh, hey, yeah. Yeah, the dean's in. You want to go see him on in there, man?
That would be wonderful.
Yo, dean, man. They got some people here with the thing they got you want. And go in, and there's this tiny little desk. It's not that tiny, but it's made tiny by the enormous fiery Efreet seated behind it. Kind of, imagine, kind of tucked in almost to the ceiling here. Kind of looks. Yes,
Да точно, мы взяли то, чего вы хотели. Привезли, все в порядке.
Points at the box.
He wants us to open it.
Okay.
Open the box.
Okay. Open the box.
Packing foam.
Moves forward, and he reaches in, and again, you've got that packing straw that's in there. Kind of it kind of catches fire when he reaches in. Kind of room is filled with that smoke, and you see he picks this thing up. You see he looks at it, and you see him go, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." And then he puts it back in the box.
That's it? You have a burning...
my sweet Satan.
You have a burning itch? That was all? Thank you so much. You got me published. I told you, but I just this is not fame retarded.
So, I think this means we can take it and use it for our research, right, Dr. Carroll?
I think so, yes. Let's.
What? We brought it to you, Dean. She scratched his burning itch. You are done.
Our agreement was that you were going to do the paperwork so that we could check it out.
Oh, yeah. What else do you want to see?
We want to use it. I think.
What?
I think this could be very useful in our research.
And
at the interactions of air elementalism and foresight.
Exactly. How else are you going to know where the wind's blowing when we do our research?
You don't think there was a man to tell which way the wind blows?
Oh God.
Dr. Carter, what about your vision?
It had nothing to do with us.
I have been thinking about that though.
What do you think? What does Dr. Carroll think about this? This artifact is pretty nasty.
I know, and Dr. Carroll's thinking, in his vision, he didn't see in particular who was the cause of all of this. So it would be completely unacademic to make assumptions about who it was and assume that it was Dr. Hoosler. So, and
but we've all seen
Dr.
the
Carroll's
vision,
wondering
right?
if he could. Yes, yeah.
So Sven will say, "I'm not wearing a hooded cloak."
Not now, anyway.
Darling. Oh, I don't have any. Those went out of style so long ago, darling.
Sven, may I be so bold as to take your hand?
Sven rolls up his sleeves and puts his hand down.
Trace the lines of his palm again and maybe do a more fate spinning.
All right. So let's have you roll with bureaucracy.
Excellent. Hang on.
Your foresight's with bureaucracy?
Oh, this is her fate spinner. She's not getting a vision. She's going to mess with your destiny.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's going to turn out well.
Oh, my God. I rolled hang on, is that it? Yeah, I rolled a 5.
Does that mean I'm screwed or you're screwed?
So the good news is you get to mark experience.
Excellent.
The bad news is you'll have this vision, and it's this moment where you see Dr. Sven, and he's walking across the quad, and he bumps into this woman, and she drops her books, and he bends over to pick them up, and he looks at her, and you can see their eyes meet, and it's true love. And then you'll see that rewrite, and you'll see them walk, and he doesn't bump into her, and they walk past each other.
Oh my God.
Because deep in your heart, you know that Sven is a really lonely person.
Aww.
So you've just shattered his chance for true love.
Oh my God. I feel so culpable.
Yeah. You should probably also mark a point of burnout, I think, at that point.
That sounds good.
Dr.
Because you know what? Yeah, sorry, Karen.
No, the Dr. Zvi, what are you doing during this?
I think it is time. I think we play it safe and time to take this back to the vault.
And he will start playing again, and you will hear, "Rise, my brothers, rise!" And these cockroaches will come out and start lifting again. And one of them will come over to where you're at, Zvi. Cockroaches, and it holds out this tiny, tiny, tiny little piece of paper.
Let me see what you have there. Okay, what is it?
It's like this little tiny manifesto.
I see.
Very small type.
I see. Yeah. And oh, yes, I see. Well. It's what does it say?
It's a manifesto for cockroach worker rights.
Okay. So,
It's from the Cockroach International.
I see. Okay. Okay.
Cockroaches of the world.
I must bring this back now to have them put it in the vault because they are required to have a break as soon as they are finished.
Yeah, my brothers, the revolution comes today. And they will start moving this, not fast because they're cockroaches, but they will start moving the box away. Dr. Sven, after Dr. Carroll does the thing with your hand, he looks a little What color is your tie now?
It's like a teal color.
I think Sven will say, "Are you feeling all right, Doctor? You're looking a little peaked."
Let's just say I had a vision, and it didn't reveal anything about the weather situation, so that's good.
That's excellent. So is Dr. Zvi going to be heading back to the vault with the box?
It does look like he is taking the box out of the elemental building and taking it back over to catalog it.
And we do think that this would really help our work, don't we?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's been established at all. I bet in no way, shape, or form has that been established.
You're inhibiting my ability to jump to conclusions, Lowell.
Yes, no. You asked me a question, and I'm giving you a straight answer on that one.
Okay. But it is tempting.
It is very tempting.
So he'll whisper to Dr. Carroll, Doctor, and we're all supposed to be about like the infighting and the politics and academia, right? So therefore, you and
True.
this could be very interesting to research. If it gets into the vault, we'll never get to see it again.
I agree. The amount of bureaucracy to get that thing. Yeah, cross.
If
Sorry.
If you distract Zvi, I think I can probably get it.
Excellent. I'll distract Zvi. How will I distract Zvi?
Or we do it the other way around. I distract him.
You could attempt your let's be rational. You have that move?
Yeah.
Because Zvi, if we don't get it, we're not going to be able. What's your claim to being in our paper?
Exactly, yes. Let's be rational here. If we don't get to use this for the best part of our research, how can you possibly get on the paper? Because there won't be on the paper to publish.
Okay, that's interesting point you raised.
So Zvi,
very well.
Yeah.
Take a break.
Yes, arise, my brothers, and they will form into little enclaves and have little discussion groups, overseen by like a cockroach sort of auditor. You can mark experience, I think, then Zvi for having given into a compulsion from another PC. Does that seem fair?
Sure, that's good.
And you can do this. Let's say that you can red tape sort of get this into your hands for a while and use this for research. Let's take a quick break since this sort of concludes this little chaptery bit, and I'm going to come back and we'll see what goes on next. Does that seem fair?
Sounds amazing.
Sounds good.
Okay. Take 5.
Hello. How do you do your babbling? Or are you not babbling?
I'm just babbling.
I don't think I can randomly babble.
Well, the end part is trying to do some phrases from backmasking. So you may hear me say "my sweet Satan" a couple times in there. So.
Yeah, I liked how Krista talks Russian to babble.
I can't think of it. I'll just start speaking in Russian.
That's very good. It took me a second to catch on to what we were doing. I honestly was like, "What is he?" Oh, okay.
I was just answering the questions I thought you were asking.
Yes. Someday we'll have to have somebody subtitle. Yes.
Oh, please do.
So one of the things the game has then is the idea that during a week passes and we can move forward and set the scene, and you get a chance in the week to, you have two choices. You can teach, and teaching allows you to mark experience, or you can delve deeper, which means you research towards a paper, towards a project, and multiple people can work on that. So, Dr. Olapiste, do you want to work on that paper, or do you want to go and work with brave, fresh new minds?
Well, since we struggled so much to get this weather vane, I would be remiss if I didn't do some preliminary benchmarking on wind patterns and researching the weather over the next couple of days for us and that kind of thing.
So, what is the title of this research project?
Oh, good question. I feel like Dr. Sven, it must have something to do with butterflies, I feel like.
Yeah, I thought it was it butterfly foresight? I don't know. Butterfly. Sven says, I think you need to come up with a title. It was your idea.
And we'll run with butterfly. Ooh. Yeah, I guess it'd be something. The working title can be predicting the random : butterfly foresight.
Okay, all right, I like that. Spell all of those words here. So, Dr. Olapiste, you may make a research roll.
And Dr. Sven will assist.
Well, you'll get to roll next.
Oh, we do it? Okay.
Yeah, because you can help out on this.
And research. Is research a...
Research is, sorry, yes, research is a stat.
But we're actually doing delve deeper, is that what it is? I'm trying to remember.
Yes.
Oh, I see. And my research is 0, so that makes it a 6.
All right.
This is why you and I haven't been published yet, because both of us don't have much in research.
I love that.
The good news is you get to mark experience. The bad news is you don't make any progress on this. Yeah, the others kind of look at you like maybe your name definitely has to go to the bottom of the food chain here.
No, Sven wouldn't do that. Sven's not like that. That's not his thing.
Sven, do you want to also research and contribute towards this paper?
Mm-hmm. Of course. Okay. And Sven's going to pull out the weather vane and set it up and say, I think we had it angled just a bit wrong and we need it closer to the window and open the window a little bit. So.
If you also roll a 6, then we know where this is going, by the way.
Oh, you said you have a threat clock going and we're just adding to it?
Now you do. Now we do.
Poor
Okay.
Zvi. He's attached himself to such.
No, I got a 9.
Okay. So you can either ask a question about it, or you can give up the question to mark 1 towards the box, essentially towards the project.
And do we have some place to mark that on the character sheet?
I would just essentially it's 1 of 9. You need to do it.
1 of 9, but not the 10-year one.
No.
Okay.
And let me make sure that it's. Let me see on that because it's been a bit. Let me see here the research.
Oh, I see. It's got the question. Well, I can put it next to the questions box actually, if you're saying.
Yes.
Let
me see here.
Okay, so I either get a question or I advance the research.
Yes.
I'll advance the research.
Okay.
Except I don't know how we're gonna. How many do we have to get to finish this? Did you say 9?
9. Let me check and make sure here. I may be wrong. Let's see here.
If that's the case, then we have to go around and schmooze everybody else to get them to contribute.
That's the thing, is you may need to do that too.
I'm screwed.
Sorry, smooth. Okay, research track is full. Delve deeper.
No, we're not. If we need to get this into the next issue of peer review, we need to get more people to assist us to do it faster.
Mm.
You can be rational and encourage people to join with us. And I can...
So here is how it works here, okay? 6 boxes to research. You can also recruit co-authors. Player character co-authors can obviously delve deeper. You can also get NPC co-authors to contribute 1 box as a small favor, or 3 boxes as a big one. But you've got 1 box towards it right now. Dr. Zvi, do you want to assist with this, or do you want to teach, or do you have your own topic to work on?
I will assist.
Okay.
I will study this Veservane. 9 plus 11.
So you get 3 questions. You can turn any one of those 3 into boxes on the research track for this thing, for that.
Let's go for all 3 boxes.
Okay. So you have 4 out of 6 boxes marked on the research track. So let's cut forward to this next week after you have done a lot of this research. Dr. Carroll, you've been doing this, burning the midnight oil, and not having much success. The paper's come a long ways, but you haven't really contributed to it. We're on this next week, and your dean, she's come by several times to check and see how things are going. Is it going well?
Yep, it's going really well. Really well.
So you're going to have it to me soon?
Define soon.
As in yesterday?
Well, I think you'll need to speak to the Department of Time Resources on that one. But
no. Chronomancers, they're flighty. Not like air elementalists.
Oh, very, very.
That's sort of like that. All right.
Soon. Okay.
Soon. Okay.
Yes, very, 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 very soon. And there's lots of really good research for our department. We've made a really big mark upon this research.
Excellent. Like a gold star performance.
And I think Sven will turn to the dean at this point and say, Dean, since you're the dean of foresight, don't you know how wonderful this paper will be?
She goes, yes, that's why I came down. So snap to it, smart ass. And she will leave. You've at least banished her for the moment.
Excellent.
So, Olapeist, what do you want to do? You could just put the long hours in and research, or is there some way that you could cut corners? Some way that you could do something to make this better, faster?
Would it help if we had more resources? Like, could I put a purchase order in for something, or
you said we can use TAs for this somehow?
Oh yeah, use some TAs.
Yeah, you could. What? Tell me about your teaching assistant.
Oh yes. So my teaching assistant, she is rather young, like one of those kind of maybe a little bit annoying, like prodigy types. Huge glasses, like with a massive jumper kind of thing. She went missing for a semester. No one quite knew where she went. And then she came back and no one really asked any questions. But she's back now.
Did she like bring anything back after she vanished and went on this quest?
Yeah, she brought back like a time, like a egg timer, but the sand flows upwards rather than downwards.
And she specializes in red tape, delve deeper, or purchase order.
Delve deeper for sure.
Okay. So you would like to set her to that task?
Yes, please.
Okay. Then you get to roll delve deeper for your teaching assistant.
Excellent. And Carol's sort of
+1.
with a woohoo.
Because she specializes in it.
Let's do a 6.
Have you advanced yet?
Yeah,
no, but I've got a lot of experience.
Yeah, the good news is you get to mark experience. The bad news is she will set to it and kind of starts to get to work on it, and you will see this sort of flash of light and this sort of rend in the air, and it will kind of open up, and you will see this knight in shining armor will appear, and he'll look at your teaching assistant, and he will go, "Queen Maeve, we need your assistance. The realm is overwhelmed again. We need to call you back. I am so sorry, but the kingdom is in peril again. We must call upon your aid." And she goes, pushes her glasses up, picks up the egg timer, and turns her little time card over to out, and goes off with this knight and vanishes. Again.
Oh dear.
Dr. Sven, what do you want to do? You'd like to get this paper finished, right? Or do you have some other exciting things to do?
No, but I know this weather vane is going to be fantastic in this. It will be exciting. So I have a teaching assistant also.
Yes.
But unfortunately her name is Robin Blind, and she specializes in adventuring. So my thing is, I'm thinking she can steal something we need. I think Robin Blind can probably help us by finding some research that is relevant to what we're doing.
So Robin Blind, I imagine, is a teaching assistant that she's got her feet up on the desk.
Yes.
She's got that kind of swashbuckling shirt.
Yes.
She's got a dagger tucks in there. So what is it you want, boss?
So I have to figure out who would have the information we want. So we're talking about foresight and weather predictions and butterflies. Oh, I know. Okay, we need something from Dr. Albacore's office.
Albacore.
He's because he would understand exactly, because he would know about butterflies and others and any supernatural relatives of the butterflies, and that's what we need to understand. any of his books that relate to that, because he will never give them to us. We know that.
So you need a lapidary heist, huh?
Yes. And I know that's your specialty.
All right, all right. Well.
And you don't worry, you'll be in the paper.
Better. All right. Let's have you roll adventuring as we cut to the montage of her breaking into the paraveterinary school after dark.
Mm-hmm. Mission Impossible music playing.
Lockpicks. All that. Roll with a +1.
Oh, so it's my score with a +1? Is that what it is?
It's just +1 because she's specialized in adventuring. You roll her score.
Good. Whoa, boxcars.
Yes. Boxcars? What? I believe what you meant to say was snake eyes, right? Nope. Oh, it is boxcars. So what are the two things that happen there? On the adventuring thing, she can not get hurt, come out of it looking good, get what you're after. You're muted.
Sorry. So she gets what we're after. So she gets the books and maybe a sample of like a butterfly, like a supernatural butterfly. That's probably what we need most of all. And a book on the care and feeding of said butterfly.
Okay.
But so if I choose you come out of it looking good, that means we get away with it without anybody finding out. Is that the idea?
Yes.
And otherwise, and you don't get hurt, that means me or her?
Well, in this case, her.
Ooh. Okay, Sven doesn't care out. She won't get hurt.
Okay. So there is going to be the news about there having been this break-in. We'll go on, and Dr. Albacore, who is much given to rages, will be on the campus talking about these radicals. First the cockroaches, and now the students breaking into buildings. And your assistant will provide this beautiful monarch butterfly of an odd color that probably iridescent and probably changes. And there's a book given over the care and feeding of it, and you can mark one box on your research track.
Where are we tracking this, everybody?
Well, you're at 5 now if you mark that.
Okay. So I'll just put it in the questions box.
Dr. Svi.
Yes.
The paper's almost done. What do you want to do? You could teach. You could research another thing. You could try and finish this off. You could put your teaching assistant to work on it.
Or maybe I put my teaching assistant to work on it.
Okay, Dr. Svi.
Let's see.
She's very still enthusiastic. Loves her uncle. Works for you.
Yes. And she's like, what was her thing? Her thing is also delving deeper. What is it?
Adventuring, delving deeper, or teaching?
I think it was delving deeper.
Okay.
Because we specified that once already, I think, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Sorry I couldn't help before, but I'd love to help out now.
Oh, this is so nice. What I will do is I want you to to look at take this this weather vane and research how it interacts with paranormal butterflies.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. I will look into this, how this demonic weather vane from the far, far deserts created by Alabzarad interacts with butterflies.
Is the butterfly dead or alive?
It's alive.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Please roll delve deeper for your assistant, Lucinda.
Okay.
It's with a +1.
A 4 or 5. Total of 5.
So
Lucy Linda.
you will return back to the lab after having her set her to it. And you will see the weather vane is still in its place. Lucinda is on the floor. You can see that the butterfly is there, kind of just sitting there. And
Is she dead?
No, it looks like she's asleep. The book is like fallen open to a caution. It's like this probably should have been at the beginning, but it's like midway through the book that talks about how dangerous it is to actually handle this thing with bare hands, and that it does a sleeping illness that will last for weeks, and it's sort of fallen open to that page.
Oh no, this is no good. And the butterfly is where?
Oh, it's just sitting there.
Ah, she's asleep. If she was dead, I could use my goggles.
You could cut out the middleman, as it were.
No, it's all right. It's looks like I wasted a week of time.
So close. They're so close now. And Carol, you haven't. What can you do to close this deal?
Oh, this is really stressful because like I've not contributed anything to this paper yet, and it's the dean's gonna be on me. What are my options?
Well, how would you do this? Would you like go steal something? Would you rope somebody into helping you? Would you go and try to find something to plagiarize? What do you think?
I know we weren't doing items. Like, 'cause I know that each department came with like an item, but I saw one of them was like your department has a library of mostly true prophecies.
Yes, that's in fact what
So
you have.
Maybe I could try and steal one of those to slip it in somehow, or I don't know.
So that's probably you trying to
give
go.
Some practicity.
Probably going to have to go and schmooze with the librarian to try and maybe make a bargain to get something. Does that seem like a fair trade?
I think so. Yeah. See if there's any like impending prophecies that can somehow from other teachers, which is a bit creepy now that I think about it.
Yeah. Prophecies, comma, and all of those. So you got to go check that index. And you will go see the librarian, and they will. What are they? Male, female? What's their general demeanor?
Let's go with the male librarian.
Okay.
And I think they're pretty protective. Like, I think people are quite nosy, and everyone would like to know a little bit about what's coming ahead for their future. So they're very protective at these times.
All right. Hey, it's good to see you.
Likewise.
Dr. Carol?
I was wondering if I could perhaps, it's like peruse some of the libraries.
Peruse? You mean like go through?
Yeah. It's for research purposes, so don't worry. The dean knows about this.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I'm supposed to keep these quiet, keep this shut away from the world. No one is really dark knowledge.
Oh, you're very bureaucratic and by the rules, and I would never, ever, ever, ever use any of this for questionable means.
Let's have you roll charisma.
Excellent. Ooh, that's the 12.
A 12. So you are able to. This is not a big thing. This is just a small thing. You just need to get a little bit. So you don't need to promise them anything unless you want to like really show off and get more. than you need. What do you think?
Of course, yeah. I would love, I really, really, really need to contribute a lot to this paper right now.
So he will say, well, I could be persuaded if you could, maybe you could help me out.
Oh, why? What's troubling you?
Well, so I've been trying to get up the gumption to ask out one of the TAs.
Mm-hmm.
Can you maybe help me out on that score? Give me a date? Make arrangements on that thing? You're pretty popular in hipstery.
Thank you. Which TA?
Lucinda?
Lucinda. Ah, she's the one with the...
Dr. Svee's assistant.
The uncle. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Lucy Lynn,
I'll see
sorry.
what I can do.
All right, you get that, and yeah, we'll consider that a bargain. You can go in and find there.
Thank you so much. It's like giving a bit of a cough lozenge. Would you like a cough lozenge?
No, this is how it is.
Oh, I do apologize. I thank you.
Sorry. My voice changed already recently.
Good time for everyone.
Yeah, he's about 40, so. Yeah, you can go in. What is the magnificent thing? The kind of prophecy that you're able to bring back and make the other two go ooh when you bring it back.
Ooh. Let's think. Ooh. I'm blanking.
Is it an object? Is it a book? Is it a relic? What kind of thing would you find? Is it a box of prophetic butterflies whose wings beat out little Morse code sort of prophecies for the future?
Yeah, I like it, like a butterfly network.
Okay, yeah.
Interconnected.
They're on those little pins. They're kind of undead, but they're tapping out these. They're hearing the things from the future. So you can take that back. It will give you the 2 boxes you need for the 3 of you to finish your paper. A paper which we've established the title for. They're predicting the random butterfly foresight by who's first on the byline? Is that Dr. Svee? It's Dr. Svee. And then who's second in the byline?
Dr. Carroll, of course.
Oh. And then Dr. Sven. All right. So one of you needs to roll research because you're going to try and publish this paper.
Oh, I think I got this.
Let's hear it, Dr.
First
Svee.
on the paper, after all.
Yes.
Dr. Svee also has +2 research.
That is a 10.
Dr. Svee, everyone is happy. The research is good. All the co-contributors can mark experience.
So all of that for 1 experience point?
Yes. The other option is to teach for the week, which has a chance of burning you out permanently. You build up burnout that way.
And what happens when you burn out entirely? Do you just stop teaching?
Yeah, you kind of lose it till that gets dealt with.
I will have to teach for this week because Lucy Linda is still asleep.
Yes. So it will go over. Your dean is happy, Dr. Olapiste. Very happy that it is done. This is good.
Thank God.
I can, she takes it. She takes her copy for her department. Of course, she puts her name on it as well. It goes around. By the end of it, it's all the dean's names are on it, as well as yours, plus a couple of other people. Plus, you don't know how, but your good friend Elocucius, who you haven't seen in weeks, somehow his name is just below the three of yours on the paper as well. That's how he does it. It just comes in. So, yes, Dr. Svi.
So how much time has passed now since the since the weather vane first arrived?
It has been a couple weeks now.
Okay, I think I need to bring this down to a catalog and put it in the vault now for my zine.
So you want to try and get it back in and get it into the network, into the log, into the catalogs?
That was what my dean originally asked of me, right?
Yeah. All right.
Sure.
Then I am going to have you roll red tape.
Okay, so red tape is plus what?
Bureaucracy.
That's a 4, and I think I have 1 in bureaucracy. I have a 0, so it's a 4.
So you will go to take that in, and you will find that they've actually shut down the building for the moment. And they've got, actually, you'll see people from the Summoner School and some of the other places that are working here. And you can see them bringing out wheelbarrows of these rabbit's feet and putting them into burn piles. And essentially, using magical wand flamethrowers to incinerate them. And you'll see a guy, supervisor guy, he looks, he goes, yeah, you're not going to be able to go in there for a while. That's the worst infestation of rabbit's feet I have seen in many a year. So, yeah, I hope you don't need to get anything done in there anytime soon.
No, that's okay. It's I wait a little bit.
And yeah, just pouring out. And the smell of burning rabbit's feet is probably carrying across the quad at that point.
But not to the elemental building, because
no, there's a nice back that way.
I thought the Department of Foresight is a very foreboding, ominous, solitary crow call out of them.
Yeah, the crows are there. They're talking. You see, when you back after a couple weeks, is that the crows are there. You're a little nervous because you see that the crows are actually, they're still there in singles. But you see that they're actually out there smoking and having little talks with these little groups of cockroaches. See the crows kind of really, and probably Lucky Strikes. The cockroaches clearly have these little tiny manifestos that they're giving out to the crows. And some of the crows are eyeing you suspiciously as part of the bourgeois as you arrive there. So what's your next goal, Dr. Carroll? You've done your research. What do you need to do next? Do you need to help out Dr. Sven, Dr. Svi? Do you need to start your own breakout on your own?
Well, I kind of feel like I feel like a bit of a dork, but he might wander up to Dr. Sven and be like, so how about a follow-up paper? We could maybe branch out and I don't know,
where do you find Dr. Sven?
Where does Dr. Sven hang out, I wonder?
Dr. Sven hangs out on the roof.
Of course.
And not a flat roof. It's, a steepled roof.
So yeah, I kind of feel like he must have spotted him on the roof, but can't quite get up there. So this conversation has to happen like with him leaning out the window, kind of like looking
and
up from like the top level.
And Sven is probably actually sitting there, and he's probably looking over at the Foresight building, and he's making like little gun things with his fist and like shooting air puffs at the crows and the ravens to like scatter them.
Yes.
Ah,
It's raining cigarettes.
Unite. And they're scattering. So what's your pitch to Dr. Sven?
Well, I kind of feel like there was some pretty groundbreaking research that we've pioneered there. And I think that it's definitely worth a follow-up study. Maybe with a bit more targeted like authorship. I feel like it sort of went a bit broad there with some of our recommendations, and we're a little bit like too broad. Too many cooks in the kitchen.
This is true, but it's also nice to have cooperation and teamwork. We got more people involved. More people now owe us for being on our paper.
It's a very good point. But yeah, how would you feel about doing some follow-up research?
Do you have an idea?
Well, yes, definitely. I definitely have an idea. But I didn't just come to you to work with you. No, no. The idea is, I kind of feel like we should bigger, more like more butterflies, just more, and to see if predict like bigger, more random events.
Like a Mothra.
But I'm open to suggestions. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking, like massive butterflies.
I like the way
Test
you're
limitations.
thinking. You're doing this because you want to annoy Professor Albacore, don't you? So we'll get the biggest butterfly we can find. This will be excellent.
Yes, exactly.
I'm in.
All right, so I'm going to cut away from that, if you don't mind, and I'm going to check in with Dr. Zvi, and then I'm going to come back to you, Dr. Sven. Dr. Zvi, you've got this giant, very, very heavy box being sometimes lifted by cockroaches, sometimes they're on strike. The building is filled with rabbit's feet. It looks like there's all kinds of problems. What do you want to do?
I think I will take the box back to the Department of Elemental.
Okay. Back to Dr. Sven's office, back to the dean?
Yes, no, back to Dr. Sven's office.
Okay. So we'll assume, if I may, Dr. Sven, that you are down after having come off the roof, that you and Dr. Olapiste are in your office when you'll hear the rumble of Dr. Zvi coming. Door pushes open. Box comes in. 5-minute break, everybody. All right, get ready, man.
So hello, Dr. Sven.
Hello, Dr. Zvi. Do you need someplace to store your weather vane?
Yes, I'm afraid that the artifacts in the relics building is overrun with unlucky rabbit's foot infestation.
That's so sad. I think we can certainly keep it for a couple of weeks.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
And Sven winks at Dr. Carroll. Whispers, stage whisper. We need this for our research, right?
Definitely.
Oh, I mean to ask Dr. Sven, Dr. Carroll, did you also get the invitation to Lucy Linda's wedding? I believe she's marrying, what's his name, from your library, Dr. Carroll?
Oh, yes, that guy. The guy with the kind of a weird voice.
Yes, his name is Grime Ritter.
Grimer, yes. What a lovely couple.
Yes, it would be the Grimer McBarfin Pfeffer wedding. Wedding. It just rolls off the tongue.
I don't think I was invited, but this is okay.
Huh. I'm sorry, I already have a +1. Dr. Carol, do you have a +1?
Not yet, no.
There you go!
Would you want to come, Dr. Sven? I mean, it would be the polite thing to do after the librarian helped us out so much in that research.
Don't forget Lucy Linda. She spent a week unconscious trying to help us.
Very, very true. What a sacrifice.
I guess I could go. It could be fun. Can we do research and teach in the same week?
You can do one or the other.
Oh.
They are time-consuming activities. Or you could push it. Try to do both.
Oh, Sven will push it.
Okay.
Because Sven has an idea how his class could tie into the wedding.
All right. So let's cut from that scene. You want to teach first?
Sure.
Okay. So tell me, I assume you're doing one of your like the basic 100 level classes, like power, muscle, blood, fire, and mana, or principles of symbology, or transformations in you.
Do we have a list?
Elements? Do
we have a list to choose from?
No, I have a list I made up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because actually, what Sven wanted to do was, how can I title this so that it sounds academic?
Topics in.
Elemental percussion and illumination.
Percussion and illumination.
And what he's going to be doing is teaching the kids to use magic to make a wild rave party.
All right. Roll charisma.
Because we can use the air to, make music, and then we can also do different colored lightning or heat lightning storms. So yeah, this should all work. Or it could go really wrong, which would be fun. So you said with charisma, right?
Yes, I did.
That's awesome. And that's a 9.
That's a 9. So you get to mark experience.
Uh-oh.
But after the class, one of your students will come. He looks really down. It's like, Dr. Sven, can I talk to you?
He'll close. Dr. Sven will have had his blackmail folder out, and he'll quickly close it and shove it into his desk drawer, and say, "Of course, I always have time for you."
I just, I mean, here it's my senior year. I mean, I'm really enjoying your class, but I just don't feel I just need some advice.
About?
See, I was dating this girl, and she broke up with me, and she's getting married this weekend, and it's just killing me.
Well,
I don't know what to do, man. I mean, sorry, I don't know who to turn to. But you always seem so worldly, wise.
Well, there are 2 ways you could play this. A, the classwork we were doing this week, you could go to the wedding with a group of the best students, and you could put on a light and sound show, the music show that we were working out, to impress her with your control.
You think I'm good enough for that? You think I could impress her? Win her back that way?
Maybe not, but no, because the other side of it is you go to the wedding, and that is showing that you're supporting her. So you still have a chance. It's the gentleman thing to do. It will make a good impression on her and her friends.
Dr. Sven, what would you do?
I would do everything. I would get invited to be in the show, but I would also try and have time with her before.
Wow, that's really okay.
You try and show
together. Yeah.
Trying to show to try and show how much she meant to you, even if it's all over.
Okay. That doesn't seem stalkery.
It's not meant to be. It's meant to be open and obvious and with finesse.
Oh yeah, and if I don't mean it to be stalkery, it can't be stalkery. All right, awesome. All right, I'm gonna go.
And Sven's like,
thanks, Dr. Sven.
This is going to go so wrong. He's going to go over to his liquor cabinet and get out a drink.
Okay, Dr. Carol. Moth or wedding?
Oh.
Do you want to find a giant moth?
I was hoping to put in a purchase order for one, but
all right. Roll bureaucracy.
Excellent. Just so I can say that I'm putting in a purchase order for a giant moth or mini butterflies.
Yes.
I'm perusing the catalog.
There are a couple of kaiju based butterfly and moth beasts.
Excellent. That's a 9 on the.
That's a 9.
Bureaucracy.
Okay. So under purchase order, under 9, you have to pick 2 of the things, or you get to pick 2 of the things. One you have to choose that you don't get.
Okay, excellent. One of them is definitely going to be you get exactly what you asked for, because that's wonderful. And the other one, I feel like then has to be you get it right now.
Okay.
That sounds fun.
So you do have to talk to somebody from paraveterinary. And
those people.
Do you talk to Albacore?
Sorry?
I assume you have to talk to Albacore, right?
Oh, yes, of course. My dear friend and colleague.
Yes. So, so what I need from you, I can get this for you. It's a moth of ludicrous size. So I can get it for you. But you're going to need to get me some divinations, on the quiet, right?
I see.
I ask questions like the dark net of divinations. Confidential?
Yes. I really need this moth. So yes, I can give you some divinations on the download. Just don't tell anyone about it, okay?
Okay. Well, no, I'm not going to tell anybody if you won't tell anybody.
Okay. It'll be a secret.
All right. And he probably writes out a few things. He wants to know about horrible things happening to people. That's what he is divining and hoping for. He is a terrible person. Terrible. He writes out a few of these. He hands them to you. I'll have your moth for you this weekend.
Leave these with me, and I will go divine this. Yes. Are you sure you want to know this? This is.
I don't want to know. I have to know.
Okay.
How will they die?
Okay, I'll look
I have to know.
He'll take it and kind of like put it in his pocket. Oh,
it's a little distasteful.
Yeah.
Dr. Svi, now we know that there's a a rave band and a moth in play for this wedding. What are you up to?
So I think because of the rabbit's foot infestation, that the artifacts and relics classes have been canceled. So I've been asked to teach at Foresight about predicting artifact interaction. And I would like to teach a class for the Foresight students.
Excellent. Please roll with charisma.
That is a 5.
That is a 5. So you're going to mark a point of burnout. And while you teach, you don't get to mark experience for that, but you do mark experience for the failure.
Okay.
And it doesn't go particularly well. Like, clearly, the students at Foresight, they don't have the same level of gravitas and respect for you that the students at Artifacts have developed over the years. You hear words like kook, nutter, crazy person, what the hell is he talking about? All of that kind of thing. This makes no sense. Those are the kinds of phrases that get thrown around here. You probably even see a few people doing caricatures of you. That they.
Oh, this is very. That looks like just like me.
Oh, yes.
And it probably doesn't help that the toupee keeps flying into the room.
Yes, the toupee comes flying through every couple of times. You can see that something has happened to it. It's turned a different color. It looks like it's purple now, and it goes. This purple toupee goes flying back out the window, away. So I'm going to cut back to you, Dr. Sven. You have some pieces in play. Was there another piece you wanted to put in play?
I was also supposed to try and do the research, wasn't I?
If you wanted to, or you could.
And what did you say the consequence was? Do I do it at a disadvantage, or?
You will mark burnout, and you'll do it at a disadvantage.
Okay. Ooh, so I could burn twice. Yeah, and I'm not a great researcher, but I have to. So we've got so Dr. Carroll, we've got the moth, we've got the weather vane. So to take this to the next level, we need a summoned air elemental.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yes, because if you've got a huge moth, you need a huge, weather effect to go along with it to make a huge event, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's have you roll at disadvantage with research.
Oof. Disadvantage. Ouch. This is going to hurt.
Yes.
Oops.
Whoa! Not cool.
So I got 10.
So you get halfway done just based on summoning this big honking air elemental.
Poof.
So moth is in play, elemental is in play, the sound and light show is in play. Dr. Carol, anything else you want to put into play?
Ooh, I feel like we've got the butterflies, we've got the air, we're just missing the foresight. So I think like some sort of scrying pool or something to, divine, not the feature in my pocket, because that feature in my pocket is terrifying me, but to divine the.
Okay. So this does seem like you're doing this as research towards your thing, towards building that up. So go ahead and roll your research roll.
Excellent. Oh my gosh. I think that's a 6 again.
Is it a 6 again?
Yeah, that's a 6 again.
So the good news is you get to mark experience.
Have you leveled up yet?
The bad news is you're fairly certain that nothing is going to go wrong at this wedding.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah, you're like, wow, this is going to go
golden.
swimmingly. I don't think there's any kind of hazards or dangers or anything. The moth will be completely under control. It won't freak out about the air elemental. It's going to be fine.
The lights won't set off either the air elemental or the moth.
No, none of that. Dr. Svi, anything else before we go to our epilogue montage here?
I was so hoping that she would complete the research paper so I could throw in my "and also I was there" move.
Oh God!
But no, Svi just lays low until the paper's about ready.
Okay, then pounces.
Yes.
So let's do the epilogue here. Let's get the last bit we see here. I'm going to start with you, Dr. Sven. Give me your epilogue bit here. Is it the wedding? Is it something beforehand? What do you want to narrate here?
Sven being Sven. So yes, he's got the band going. That's wonderful. The people are dancing. Everything's fantastic. And Sven gets caught by his student, the one that had come to him saying how to approach Lucy Linda. It was Lucy Linda, right? That was going to be married. And he gets caught having sex with Lucy Linda in the back room.
Oh my God.
At the wedding.
So that kind of breaks out, and there's probably a screaming fight, especially when the dean's, of course, there, and the dean's significant other, and maybe news of that will break out. Dr. Carroll, give me your epilogue in the midst of this, since it starts to not go as you forecast. What happens?
I've got this. So, the wedding start, I think, is going pretty well. But yeah, then it starts to go a bit off the rails. We hadn't contained the parameters of this research. So the lights do in fact set off the moth, and the freaking out moth kind of sets off the air elemental, and then the weather starts going ridiculous, and there's a sort of windstorm going on. Things are flying around, and all of the chaos. Unfortunately, three individuals are taken out by the gazebo that they'd pricked for the wedding, and as people are rushing around these poor 3 individuals, Carol sort of looks over who they are, pulls out that list that the para veterinarian gave him, opens it up, and sort of sees the 3 names on it. Well, there, and goes, "Oh, well, at least I've got an answer for our dear para veterinarian." And that's sort of his winning
closet.
Yeah.
Screaming Mothra, the 2 little Japanese persons who tend to the moth are screaming and trying to get its attention. Air elementals flying around, gazebo crashing. Dr. Svi, what? Let me have your epilogue.
So in the midst of all the chaos, I say, "Hi, Dr. Sven, you come. I want you to meet my +1. Funny thing, we were walking through the quad. She had just walked past you, actually, and then bumped into me, and all our books fall down, and I picked them up, and it was love at first sight."
And Sven's putting on his shirt, and and he says, "Oh, what a pleasure to meet you, madam."
She maybe looks a little disgusted at you. She can see you putting on your shirt. You've clearly just been fornicating.
Lipstick on my cheek or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, but Sven is looking at her and thinking, "Ooh, that's," thinking this could have been great. She could have been the person I was. He feels a connection, but she doesn't,
Yes.
obviously.
Snap. And that, I think, is where we're going to stop. All right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Though I think that there's one last thing. I think the three of us. So maybe Dr. Carroll can come up behind it, and Sven can go up to Dr. Carroll. As he finishes buttoning up his shirt, and he looks at everything that's happened, and he looks at me and he says, "Do you think that if a butterfly in Southeast Asia can create a hurricane in the Bahamas, that the experiment we did disrupted this wedding? That this was our research?"
Smell paper.
I smell paper.
And also, I was there.
Perfect.
Perfect. Let's do roses and thorns. I get to start, and I'm going to do the obvious one. And my obvious one is that we didn't have Rich here for this session. I would have loved to have had Rich here. I enjoyed the 3-person interaction, but I would have loved to have Rich to throw in his 2 cents. So it's always disappointing when you lose somebody on a follow-up session. Christo, start with thorns from you. About the system, about your own play, about my running, about environment, whatever.
I about my own play, I think I was probably a little bit of a spotlight hog this time around. I don't know what came over me. I was just sort of pounding things out, and so I hope I didn't step on anybody. I realized afterwards, I thought, I probably stepped on Lauren a little bit by offering suggestions about stuff, and I wrote that. So sorry about that if that's what happened. That was not cool, and so not happy if that's where it went.
Okay. Lauren, thorns?
Yeah, first of all, not at all. I thought I blanked a couple of times too many, so that was probably my bad. But for thorns, I don't know. I was cracking up this whole time because everyone was such a blast, and I liked everything tied in together, which I realize isn't a thorn at all. I think this game probably lends itself better to campaign play, obviously, since a lot of stuff is built up over time. But obviously we can't run a huge campaign of that. So I think I would like to play a campaign of this where over sessions you can kind of build up the research and burn out over time and that kind of thing, and have more dilemmas where it's is it, as you said, the wedding or the research, or are you gonna go with? And again, I wish Rich was here because that would have been a really good point of conflict between. Yeah. Are you going to do the elemental research or the boring Excel table research? So, yeah. I'm disappointed we didn't get to see that. Otherwise, yeah, I can't. I'm not gonna gush too much longer. But that was such a hilarious session, and just gonzo enough without it being too gonzo.
Yeah, the point that you make is really good. I think it is one of those games that if we had more sessions, we would have a lot more room for it to breathe, because I do push things pedal pretty hard on the 2 shots.
I think you have to, yeah.
Dylan, thorns.
So I would say I gotta say my one thorn is really that I never got a chance to use my M Night vision goggles.
Oh yeah.
They let me learn things about dead people, dead things.
We should have. I would have. I should have probably leaned into that. If we'd had more time, we could have talked to the gazebo people.
But the Edmund Ronstein's nose flute thing was.
That
was fun.
The communist cockroaches were awesome.
Yeah, that was actually the organizing cockroaches were probably a highlight. They were right up. They were on that just gonzo enough they fit that just gonzo enough definition.
Yeah, I'm going to come to roses, and I think comedy games, humor games are really hard. I think they're really hard to get kind of that tone that's dry without being too over the top and playing with the absurd. And I felt, at least for me, the tone worked. Mm-hmm. All of your tone worked, and the things it You guys felt like you were right on the level. You didn't go off the rails, and it meshed really well for me. So that was good. That'd be my general rose. Christo?
I guess I have two. I really like Dylan's character, and the way Dylan played it. The whole, you were the only you carried your accent through the whole thing, which is fantastic, and very humorous. And I really liked how you played into everything. So I thought that was great. I also
the falling into the desk at the beginning when we first saw him was a great moment that will stay with me.
Yes, and the second thing. Oh, what was I going to say? I lost it. I liked this session a lot better because I liked the way it played in with the research driving what we were doing, so that it wasn't just a research role, it was how are we going to do the research and what can we do instead. So since I have poor research skills and my assistant, I didn't even have the option of having an assistant that could do research.
Mm-hmm.
So I chose the adventuring one and sent her off to steal something that we could use. So, I like the fact that we could play it that way. And I thought that added a lot of color to this session. I really enjoyed how we each ended up using something different that way. So I like that a lot.
Yeah. We moved out of being kind of like sort of this very singular story that kind of set up at the start. Yeah, it opened up.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren, roses?
Yeah, I think definitely the comedy. Like I love that kind of intersection between like the ridiculous and the mundane. And the one line that sticks out in my brain is when Zvi was like, well, yeah, we need to do this like amazing magical research, but I also need to process these papers to archive this at my school. It's like it was. So like, and I think that for me sums up like I am in love with this session, and it made me laugh a lot, which I needed. So yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, it was good. Dylan, you get last word.
Yeah, so I've never done this before, but I'm giving my rose to the dice, just because the way everything unfolded, and I love the fact that like everything kept like, for Dr. Carroll kept like just not happening until it had to. So that was fun. I don't think we could have asked for better dice rolls, except for that very end. I would have liked to see you guys get published one more time before the wedding, so I could have attached my name to it.
Yes,
but
you could have helped us.
Yeah.
No, but I wanted to use that move.
Yes, it is great.
I needed to lean into the albatross a little bit more.
It's good. I enjoyed it overall.
And the voices were like awesome. Lol, those were like fantastic.
I worked really hard on the voices, I
really wanted like for the NPC version of Eloquatius to come and play, so that you would have to do the like Rich's little voice.
Rich has got some voices I can't do, so he's even better than I am.
Yeah, and when you had the Euphried do that gibberish to me the first time, I was like, I don't know if it showed on my face. I was thinking, oh, what the hell am I gonna do?
All my gibberish sounds
really
like
well.
Yeah, it was
all
good.
My gibberish sounds like a Swedish chef.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to stop the broadcast here.
Sweet.